Запись забыл включить. Ребятушки, всем здравствуйте. Тут мы смотрим стрим разработчиков на Твиче. Вот это да, новые локации. Все, поехали. Часку показываю. Как я мог забыть? Она улетать, кстати. У нее волына. Так, а это, видимо, дети этого ночи. Они? Хороший, само собой. Хорош, пацан, хорош. А вот этих не знаю. О, блин, снова капитан. Ебан Мобяра. Что ты такое? Ага, понял. Участки — это портативная перемещательная установка в виде оружия. Интересно за нее геймплей. Прыжок веры, само собой. Диман, выпустили Джина. И сразу же пошел первый промокод. Разумеется, сейчас я его вам оформлю в чатик. Так что не переживайте. Давайте я сейчас, наверное, знаете, как сделаю? Вот так вот, пуки-пуки, вот так вот. Блин, отправился наверх. Так, первый промокод, соответственно, улетает вам в чат. А вы, соответственно, можете его брать и тупо копировать, вставлять и, соответственно... Бля, я не знаю, как я просто взял и тупо забыл за то, чтобы включить вовремя запись. 1000 пардонов. Ну так получается. Так, первый промикс-то. Первый промик закрепляется, и он присутствует, и он наблюдает. Да-да, оно, все хорошо. Короче, у нас потенциально должен еще и на Ютубе начаться стрим. Но он только-только собирается начинаться, поэтому... Ладно. Хотя, я бы, наверное,
Hey travelers, welcome to the Genshin Impact version 5.2 special program. I'm Gabe from the Loke team.
Здорово.
And I'm Kai. We meet again.
Gabe.
Whoa, a cuckoo soar. Want to join us?
Hey, don't be shy. Come out and say hello.
Новый моб, кстати.
I'm not sure what that meant, but it was
Новый моб,
adorable.
которого мы сейчас будем наблюдать.
She approves of your
На протяжении
compliment.
всего стрима,
Hey, I didn't know you could speak Saurian.
Oh, I can't. But I can make an educated guess based on her body language.
Whoa, are
Так,
all cuckoo
опять
soars
же,
as
блин,
friendly
из-за
as this
того,
one?
что
Adult
русской
cuckoo soars are
озвучки
usually
нету,
very proud
русских
creatures, but there are
субтитров
always
нету, поэтому
exceptions.
лучше, наверное, будет
Since our
перейти
cuckoo
на
soar friend
YouTube, но
kicked
из-за того,
things
что
off
YouTube
for
может
us,
лагать,
I know
поэтому
just the place to
поэтому
start.
будем стоять и
The
наблюдать
flower-feathered
за
clan.
чеприками.
All right, let's do it. Cuckoo soars live among the
Рассказываю
flower-feathered
сейчас про
clan,
новую
which is
локу.
suspended high above the mountains.
Значит,
This is a tribe of warriors,
парящие
and most of
горы.
their people can command the power of the skies. It was the Flower Feather clan's ancient duty to patrol and safeguard the
новый
entire
NPC,
region of
капец, в
Natlan.
масочке
As
сидит в
elite special
очочках
forces,
спортивных
their job was
этих,
to
блин,
detect
лыжных.
threats,
Новая
disseminate
лока,
intel,
кстати, про
and
которую как
quickly
раз таки я и
neutralize
говорил.
any dangers to the nation. Though the circumstances are different now, the tribe never forgot its origins.
Это ж у нас
They still hold
получается
trials to
и
assemble the
новые,
fastest
эти
teams in the
новые
tribe.
заврики
The
появятся.
trials
О,
test
блин,
the pilot's skill
я
and
хотел бы
teamwork
когда-нибудь
with
вот
the
в такой
cuckoo soars.
трубе полетать.
I'm
Есть такая
so
штука.
pumped about these cuckoo soars.
Ну, чувак тупо, блин,
Yeah,
левитирует.
cuckoo soars are the proudest out of all the
5000 рублей
saurians.
заплатил за
They
час
know that
полета.
they're the
Нормально.
kings of the sky. Cuckoo soars can consume phlogiston to climb higher or perform a
Ман, будем
horizontal
летать
roll
теперь.
in midair. Holding the sprint button allows them to enter an accelerated glide state after a horizontal roll. In addition,
Плюс
they can even
удобный
use phlogiston
movement.
wind tunnels to quickly
Наконец-таки
cover
еще
great
один.
distances.
Okay, so I'm assuming
Okay.
that cuckoo soars are really hard to tame.
Yeah, that's true.
А
You
ну-ка,
need
я
to
сейчас
prove
по-быстренькому
yourself in
просто
some worthwhile
гляну,
feat, like demonstrating exceptional archery skill
будет
during
ли тут
flight.
нормально
That's the
работать
only
стрим.
way to become a true
Мне кажется,
cuckoo
что не
soar
будет.
rider.
Да,
Wow,
все,
that's
он
so
умер. Ну ладно,
strict.
смотрим за Twitch.
Yeah, tell me about it. But okay, now that we've got a glimpse of the Flower Feather clan, it's time for a quiz.
What? Already?
Yep, I hope you're prepared.
Ха-ха-ха.
Every tribe in that land has a unique way of communicating with their Saurian companions.
Они решили
The
в
members of the
стрим
Flower Feather clan use a
закинуть
special item to
викторину,
summon
да?
their
С
Kukusaurs.
вопросиками.
What is that item?
A basket.
Не, ну они
filled
сейчас
with
все равно
their
ответят правильно,
favorite
поэтому я
foods?
полностью буду с ними согласен.
Here's a hint. We just
Нет,
saw the
неправильно, да?
answer in the previous video.
Значит, не буду
Oh,
правильно
I
отвечать.
remember now. Horn.
Ding ding ding! Kukusaurs live far from the tribe and from each other. So in order to
Sound-making
summon
device.
them, the tribespeople use
так
whistles
и знал,
and horns to produce loud noises.
100%.
So there's your overview of Kukusaurs. Maybe they sound a little unapproachable compared to other Saurians, but don't worry, travelers. If you get into a tough situation, then Chaska, the Flower Feather clan's expert peacemaker,
Блин,
can
но
help
геймплей
mediate
за
conflict.
часку меня
Teenage
что-то прям,
mentioned
как
that
вы знаете,
her method
50 на
of
50.
mediation is
Я увидел ее вот эти
silencing
вот
both parties.
перемещения на
Is that true?
здоровой волыне.
Well,
Что-то
that's
как-то
only in special
удивился.
cases. Most of the time,
Ну, сейчас
Chaska
нам,
barely
само
needs
собой,
to
покажут
intervene.
ее более
Everyone
подробно.
knows what she's capable of,
Поэтому
so
потому.
people usually find a way to set aside their differences when she shows up.
Oh, so she doesn't just handle conflicts between humans and Saurians. She keeps the peace between
Показывают
people
английскую
too.
сею.
Exactly.
Только вопрос, будет ли
Chaska was
она в
corrupted
этом
by abyssal
в
power as a
следующем
child,
обновлении.
so she has a strong compulsion to fight,
Надеюсь,
but she
надеюсь.
knows how to rein it in.
Очень-очень надеюсь.
I heard that she was abandoned as a baby. It seems like she's been through a lot.
Yeah, but luckily for her, the Kukusaurs took her in and raised her as one of their own. In addition to hunting and flying, Chaska gained a lot of unique combat experience from her Saurian childhood. When Chaska is in your
И
party,
кажется, все-таки
defeating
жалко, что
monsters will restore
нету...
phlogiston to
стоп,
your
что в
party.
смысле?
While she's in the Night Soul's blessing state,
Ой, что
Chaska
такое?
can ride and control her
Она
gun
на
like a
пистолете
Kukusaur.
летит.
The Soul Sniper doesn't just increase her movement speed and resistance to interruption, it also allows her to get a better
Летит
angle
на
on her enemies.
пистолете.
Wow, that
Это
mid-air
звездос.
perspective is so cool. It seems so liberating.
Yeah, and Chaska's fierce when she's in the zone. In the Night Soul's blessing state,
Ема.
Chaska's normal
Да ну
attacks deal
нафиг.
animo damage to enemies in front of her. Unleashing a charged
Она
attack in
оседлала
this state
пистолет.
will cause Chaska to enter a special aiming mode. This allows her to lock onto a set number of enemies within range and fire up to 6 Shadow Hunt shells, which deal animo damage upon
Короче, когда
impact. In
заряжает
addition, for every pyro,
атаку
hydro,
во
cryo,
время
or electro
ешки
character in your party, one of
появляются
Chaska's Shadow Hunt
разные пули,
shells will
которые в
undergo an
себе
elemental
сохраняют
conversion to
определенный
deal the
элемент.
corresponding type of elemental
Электро,
damage.
пиро,
Whoa,
ема.
no way! So
Крyo,
Chaska
гидро.
can directly deal other types of elemental damage based on the characters in her party. And since she's an animal character, she
Я
can
только...
swirl them
все,
at the same time. That's
она
awesome.
несколько целей
Yeah, I know,
поражает.
right? Her elemental
Нормально.
burst has a
Ема.
similar function too. Chaska fires a gale-splitting Soul Seeker shell during her burst, which deals animo damage. The attack then
Как же
splits
она,
into
блин,
6
она
Soul
как
Seeker
шеломная,
shells,
вот так
which
вот тупо
continue to
взяла и
attack nearby
раскинулась на своем
enemies.
пистолетике.
These shells can also undergo elemental conversions.
That's so cool.
Ляшечку,
No wonder she's
разумеется,
one of
нужно
the
показать.
strongest warriors in her tribe.
Так, а
Speaking
это
of her
вайба,
tribe,
видимо,
the
этого...
warriors from the Flower
как
Feather
его,
clan
чувачка
are
из этого,
formidable
из
for sure,
СССР.
but we should also
забыл,
shed
как
some light
зовут.
on those who aren't as skilled.
Oh, are you talking about the wingless? That's what the tribe calls people who fail the flight trials, right? They're the challengers who fail to earn the
Стоит
recognition
что-то
of the
грустить, что
Kukusaur.
грустно такое?
Exactly. But the name doesn't indicate that those people are weak or deserve to be cast aside. The Flower Feather
Yes.
clan has its own
Так, ну
definition of
задание
strength.
легенд,
There's a
разумеется,
tacit understanding
завезут
that the
вместе
wingless
с
are
ней.
supposed to be protected
А будет ли
until
интересно
they
задание
can fly
легенд
by
за
themselves.
урона?
But that assumption is challenged in Tribal
Вопросик.
Chronicles Tlalocan. Someone will dare to ask, what if you didn't need a Kukusaur to fly? If you could change the rules, then maybe there wouldn't be any wingless to begin with. Now, whether that's the right
Надеюсь,
path
вам нормально
is for
слышно.
us to discover. Chaska will also be there to help us find the answer. So, be sure to check out Chaska's Tribal Chronicle if you're interested in what happens.
Is there anything else that you can tell us?
Remember how I mentioned that Chaska was raised by Kukusaurs?
Yeah, tell us about it.
Все хорошо.
Her Saurian mother will make an appearance in this quest. Even though she's joined human society, Chaska still goes to visit her Saurian mother on occasion, especially when she needs some help with a tough
Мы будем
situation.
общаться с
So
рептилоидами.
Chaska still has a soft side, even though
Chaska
she's
будет
a
как переводчик.
fearsome warrior.
Definitely.
Хорошо, я понял.
The Flower Feather Clan is also the setting for the Archon Quest Chapter 5
А,
interlude.
да ладно, задание
All
Архонта
fires
все-таки
fuel the
будет?
flame. The tribe is facing a crisis, and they'll need the traveler's help to find a
Я-то
solution.
думал, что не
What
будет
kind
в
of
этой
crisis?
версии
Well, the Flower
основного.
Feather Clan suffered the worst of the abyssal contamination during the battle in version 5.1. It's not just the human body that can't
Опять
withstand high
будем высасывать
concentrations
всю
of
вот эту
abyssal
вот
power. For most
последствия
people,
бездны.
it also damages the mind. Many members of the Flower Feather Clan are suffering from the mental
Ты
repercussions
так
of
не
the
маши
abyss,
своим
and the tribe is in
топориком.
desperate need of aid.
молоточком.
Iansan will be there too. After rebuilding her own tribe, the Collective of Plenty, she's
Мутота.
traveling around Natland to help those in need.
The people of Natland really value unity, don't they? No one fights alone.
Right.
That's one of my favorite things about Natland. Oh, wait.
Да, и
It
маны
looks like the
капитана будет,
captain will
само
also
собой.
be there.
Куда же без
Yes,
капитана?
the captain will also offer help to the tribe. You may pick up on some interesting information if you pay close attention
Он,
to what he
разумеется,
has
еще
to say.
будет играть
The
какую-то
captain
ключевую
rarely
роль
gives away
в
too much
развитии
information
сюжета.
in his regular interactions, but his
Но как он
secrecy
в итоге
here
себя
seems
проявит,
a
это
little
вопрос.
peculiar. So keep an eye out, but of course, restoring Natland's fighting spirit remains the top priority.
Я,
After all,
пожалуйста,
the war
верните хотя
isn't
бы в
over yet.
следующем
The abyssal contamination is still around,
задании
and we
Архонтов
have
в
a very
озвучку
important battle ahead.
персонажей.
Natland
Молю вас,
needs mental
пожалуйста.
fortitude more than
Я не
ever
хочу
before.
читать немые
The Flower
субтитры.
Feather Clan is pretty close to the Masters of the Night
У этой мелкой,
where the
по-моему, тоже уже не
Ictomosaurs
было
live.
озвучки.
That tribe could be another good place to recover
помню
from the
точно.
battle.
Oh yeah, let's check it out.
Let's check it out.
If you head west from the Stadium of the Sacred Flame and go past the towering walls, you eventually arrive at the settlement of the mysterious Masters of the Nightwind. The tribal settlement offers a unique glowing
по-моему,
landscape at
это
night.
место...
If you venture even further, then you might encounter the tribe's one
Место, короче,
Ictomosaur elder
поинтереснее,
or
чем
one of the many
стадион.
shamans who can communicate with spirits.
Бля, какие же
I even
звездатые
heard that the
цвета.
witch doctors who live there can help cleanse your spirit. Plus, the graffiti art is really incredible. In fact, there's something special about this one. Can you figure it out, travelers? It's kind of tricky, right? Well, don't worry. The Ictomosaurs can help us out.
Мы за вот эту вот
Ictomosaurs are known
буйву
for their
будем
wisdom.
играть.
They can use their unique sight to
тупо-
detect things that can't be seen through normal mains.
Whoa, okay.
знаете, типа летучая мышь, но
Ictomosaurs
никогда
are
не мышь.
especially skilled at detecting ley lines and phlogiston. They can absorb power from phlogiston objects to enhance their
Прикольно.
abilities. Doing so allows them to jump higher,
Да, короче,
move
летучая
faster,
мышь,
or even
смешанная с
obtain
кем-то.
surprising
С кем
rewards.
конкретно сказать не могу.
Ictomosaurs can also extract information from graffiti art
Но у него
to
будут свои
create special objects.
таланты.
Oh, I bet that'll come in handy for solving puzzles.
Definitely, especially in Tribal Chronicles Mictland, which will become available in version 5.2. The first two acts feature a lot of intriguing puzzles, so be sure to check them out, travelers. Some of them will require the help of an Ictomosaur, and others can be solved on your own.
I noticed that Ictomosaurs can
Бля,
perform
реально прикольно
fast-paced
смотрится.
jumps when they have enough phlogiston, and it looks like so much fun. Do we know anyone who can use that ability? Besides the new Saurian, I mean.
Yes, Auroron can do it too.
О, а вот и урон.
Like the Ictomosaurs, Auroron has the
Тоже
ability
будет
to rise
обладать
into the
подобными
air.
талантами
He
и
also has a
навыками.
keen sense of perception. While charging an aimed shot, Auroron will enter the spirit speaker state,
промазал.
allowing him to extract power from Natland's graffiti and runes.
Speaking of Auroron, I was honestly super surprised by his personality. Before the 5.1 Archon
У него,
quest,
кстати,
I thought
Сигна,
that
так
he looked like
понимаю,
a
да? Сигна
stern,
похож
stoic,
на
and harsh
вспышку во
type of
тьме.
character. But as it turns out, he's
Или
just
как-то
a
так.
sweet
Ну, короче,
kid.
из-за разряда
Yeah.
вот этих вот
It's kind of
вспышек
unexpected, right?
оружия.
Is he really that sweet,
Вспышка во
though?
тьме, по-моему,
Just
это
to
меч,
think about
а как-то
all the
по-другому
sneaking
называется
around behind his
с той
granny's
же
back.
серии
Ah, true.
оружия.
The tribe's people of the Masters of the Nightwind are known for being eccentric. But Auroron really takes it to the next level.
Yeah,
Aurora.
it sounds like he does things
Бля,
his
прикольно.
own way.
Меня забавляет, как они
I wonder if
называют
that
его
extends
в
to his
английском.
combat abilities.
It does.
Звучание.
Auroron is a
Aurora.
bit different from the Natland characters we've met so far.
Yeah.
He doesn't need to depend on the Night Soul's Blessing state to gain Night Soul points, and he can maintain the Night Soul's Blessing state even while he's
Бля, он
off
что-то
field.
дал и полетел.
Ah, that does sound different from the other Natland
Стой.
characters. So how do his abilities work?
Прикольно, ФК
Let me
анимация.
start by explaining how Auroron gains Night Soul points.
Auroron.
This can happen in multiple ways. For example,
Какой-то
Auroron can
мешочек
gain Night Soul
даёт.
points when one of his party members triggers a Night Soul burst. He can also gain them when other party members deal hydro or electro attacks to enemies after Auroron unleashes his elemental skill.
Oh, then it sounds like he works well with Hydro and Electro characters.
Yep.
Короче,
And
я так
in
понимаю, он
combat,
будет
when
бустить
enemies
некоторых
take damage from
персонажей в
electro-charged
пачке.
reactions or other party
И, судя
members
по
deal
всему, это
Night Soul
будет
aligned
электро
damage,
и
Auroron
гидроперсики.
can consume Night Soul points to enter the Night Soul's blessing state and trigger the hypersense
Но пока не
effect,
понимаю, как
dealing
работает его
electro damage.
ешка
Oh,
ульта.
I see.
Хотя там что-то
So
сверху
you need to
шахает.
pair him with the right characters if you want him to gain Night Soul points, enter the Night Soul's blessing state, and trigger the effect.
Exactly. Though I should mention that Auroron doesn't need to be on the field to trigger the hypersense effect.
Wait, he can trigger it even while
Да,
he's
видишь,
off
короче,
field?
он накладывает
That
на
sounds
мобов
really
какой-то, я
useful.
не знаю,
Totally.
типа
His elemental burst provides a
элемент, ну не
convenient
элемент,
way
а
to deal
этого,
damage and support your party.
печати.
Auroron performs an
время
ancient
того, как
ritual with his burst
Кто-то из
to summon
нашего
a
отряда еще по нему
supersonic
попадает
oculus,
по этим, по
which
врагам.
taunts nearby enemies
Тогда
to draw them
тогда
in.
эта печать
Once they're
активируется.
up close, the oculus releases a sound wave to deal damage.
That should be great for crowd control.
Yes, with Auroron in your party, dealing with
Есть
large
ощущение,
groups
что
of
эта тема
enemies
будет
should be
мега
a lot
бустить
easier.
отряды
And
в той же
speaking of
самой
making
бездне.
things easier, Auroron can also improve the exploration experience
Чё?
by boosting the gliding speed of your characters.
А типа пассивка,
Auroron really
короче,
cherishes his
ускоряет
friends. With a little teamwork
передвижение
on
в
his
воздухе.
side, I'm sure victory will always be
Нормально.
within reach.
Cool. So we introduced two of the upcoming
New
regions in
Area
this update.
Showcase.
The
Короче,
Flower Feather
новая
Clan
лока.
and the Masters of the Nightwind.
Ну, выглядит она
But
прям
there's
таки
more.
хорошо, да?
Version
Прям вот
5.2
прям
actually introduces
чувствуется.
another new region. It's called Очень Land.
Тупо разрушенные
I think we
территории.
caught a glimpse of this ancient city when we were looking at the Flower Feather
И музыку
Clan.
такую
It's
включили.
really beautiful from
Напрягающую
far
малюха.
away, but those clouds look kind of ominous. It looks completely abandoned. Is it dangerous?
Yes. This is a restricted area in that land due to its severe abyssal contamination, and it seems uninhabited. Over
Мне
the
аж, знаете,
years,
почему-то
many
захотелось
adventurers have
пересмотреть-
come
Ух
here in
ты.
search of treasure or to
Меч?
slay the dragon. Unfortunately,
Захотелось пересмотреть
none of them
«Властелина
have ever
колец».
returned.
Я не знаю,
The
на
Flower Feather
первую часть.
Clan often sends riders to patrol the area and to prevent people from
Собака
getting too
лежит,
close.
гадость, вот
Wait,
подойдешь
did
к
you
нему, он
say
активируется,
slay the
еще
dragon?
стрелять своим этим
Yeah.
лучом
I
смерти.
know we introduced
Падла.
some adorable saurians earlier, but this creature is actually really terrifying. It occupies this ancient city and guards it fiercely. If it detects an intruder, then it will attack
понял.
without
Это за
hesitation.
нас?
Okay, that's pretty concerning.
За нас
It's
вот это вот,
easy
это
to take
куль-
human-saurian
вот это.
coexistence for granted these days, but it actually took
чё не
generations
собирает-то?
of effort to reach this point. This relationship wasn't nearly so harmonious in the ancient past. Travelers will need to explore Очень Land to uncover the reason behind this dragon's rampage. Of course, travelers won't have to do this alone. Here, take a look.
Oh, what's that?
This is a
Чё
very
это
important
действительно?
companion who will help us explore Очень Land.
Новый
His name
компаньон?
is Kokoweek. As
Kokoweek.
for his power, well, why don't you take a guess?
Okay, is he our moral support? You know, maybe he could make a cute noise every now and then to cheer us up.
Hey,
То есть помимо
let's not put our
того динозаврика,
Tapetlosaur friend out
которого
of a
мы
job.
встретили
Little
на
one
входе
works
в
really
Саундплан,
hard.
да, вот этот
Okay.
вот,
Then I've got nothing.
из
Remember
Георгии,
how I
как-
mentioned that
который, блин, эти
Очень
ползают
Land is
под
heavily
землей.
corroded by the abyss? Well,
Нам ещё
that's
и
where
этого
Kokoweek comes in. We can use
представил.
his power to clear abyssal contamination. Follow the direction indicated by his light to collect secret source scraps and enhance his power. Once Kokoweek has enough power, you can take him to track down the evil dragon.
What a useful little guy.
I know, right? Now,
То есть вот
travelers
эта
can
вот
explore
пидюрка
Очень
будет-
Land
вот,
with
я
two
про это
companions,
говорил. Вот эта
Kokoweek
пидюрка
and
будет
Little
сражаться
One.
против
In
здорового
fact,
дракона.
I've heard there's
Хорошо.
even a special token around here that can
Иман
enable
Мелович,
Little
сколько
One to
детский
traverse
сад
a
пришёл.
volcano.
Hmm.
A new adventure with Little One awaits in version
Детский сад
5.2.
скелетик.
This update will bring us one step closer to uncovering the mysteries of Little One's past. Familiar Saurian companions can also help us explore Очень Land. For example, with the help of a Kaholasaur, we can evade source mechanism attacks. With the help of an Ikitomisaur,
Новые
we can
активности
solve certain puzzles.
представляют.
With the help of a Kukusaur, we might even be able to chase down the evil dragon. But we'll leave the rest for you to discover, travelers.
Wait,
не
are
понимаю,
those
мы
some kind of
этот
lava fish? Does this mean we can
Lava
fish
fish.
in Netland?
Yes, but
Охренеть.
I've got some
Теперь мы
friendly
будем
advice,
ловых еще
travelers.
этих,
You should be
рыбок
very careful while
ловить.
exploring Ochkanatlan. Some of the abyssal monsters
Я не понял,
here can
дракон за нас
distort
или
their
не за
appearance
нас?
to mimic
Вот этот моб
powerful
будет, наверное,
enemies.
самый мерзкий, который
High-level
вообще сейчас
monsters such as
есть.
the Tenebrous Papilla can mimic even stronger enemies.
Долбаные
It
мимики.
looks like these monsters take the form of plants outside of combat.
Yep, that's true. The Abyss has corroded Natlan's ley lines, allowing
Охренеть.
these monsters to read the memories inside of them and mimic creatures from Tevat.
How do we defeat them?
Он,
Travelers will need
короче,
to
будет
use
принимать облик
elemental
разных
attacks to
других
break the
боссов,
enemy's
которые
protective void
раскиданы по
wards.
всему
Doing so
Тивату.
allows them to take damage and
Банда,
causes them
всё,
to enter
спать.
a brief state of confusion. Night Soul aligned elemental attacks are especially effective against these wards.
Wow,
Всё
the
жахнуло.
Abyss has gotten so advanced. It's scary to think about how
Бля,
much
ну,
harder these fights
надо
will
будет,
get
само
if these
собой,
abyssal
посмотреть
monsters
этого
continue
босса.
to
Сейчас
evolve.
убей скоро
Yeah.
из этого.
Okay, that was a lot of information to take in at once. But before we take our first break, we still have a couple of short
Tenebrous
announcements.
Papilla.
Really short, I promise.
Не
First
знаю,
up,
что, как
limited
он будет
time
переводиться.
exploration rewards will be
Tenebrous
available
Papilla.
in version 5.2. Just like in version 5.1,
Limited
travelers can earn
time
up
area?
to 400 extra primo gems.
Временная
And
ловка
the
какая?
rewards will be available all the way through version 5.3. It's now time to introduce the event wishes. In the first half of version 5.2,
Опа.
travelers can look forward to event
Арарон
wishes from
четырехзвездочный,
Chaska
да
and
ну
Link.
нахрен.
Auroron will also receive a drop rate boost.
Так, ну
And
первые
in the second
баннеры.
half of version 5.2, we'll have returning event wishes for Zhongli and New Villette. The weapon banner will feature a new 5-star bow, Astral Vulture's Crimson Plumage, and 2 new
Это звездос.
Netland-specific 4-star weapons. Be sure to check them out if you're interested.
All right, it's time for our first break. Once we come back, we'll
Дед с
dive
дедом.
right into the event portion.
Вторая половина. Интересный, блин, моментик. Очень и очень интересный, блин. Так, второй, получается, у нас пошел промокодик. Я что-то сейчас немножко в ахрене. Нивелет вместе с Джунли. Это что-то новенькое. Они наконец-таки смогут сойтись, помериться письками. Вау. Вот это да. Так, закрепляется второе сообщение. Вместе с промокодиками. Вроде все правильно. Вроде все правильно. Диман, первая половина часка вместе с Лини. Лини давненько, кстати, не было в баннерах. И потом у нас получается реран. Реран деда и второго деда. 2 деда будут. Чё они ходят? Уровень мимимишности повышают.
Welcome back, travelers.
Welcome back! Let's dive straight into the event section. So in the first
могу
event,
красивый
we'll
меч.
get to learn more about the masters of
Короче,
the
главный
Nightwind.
ивент.
That's right. In the version
За
5.2
которым
event,
получим
you
меч
tell me
четырехзвездочный.
spirit-seeking scrolls. Travelers
само
will
собой,
team
разные
up with
приколюхи.
Sitlali and Auroron to get to the bottom of a mysterious accident that occurred within their tribe.
Travelers will need to complete combat challenges to defeat enemies who try to disrupt the ritual. They'll also need to reconstruct scenes from the tribe's woven scrolls
Ивент будет
and gather
основан
lost
именно вот
spirits
на
scattered
общении
throughout the
Оророши
region.
и
Travelers will
Ситлали,
only
я
be
так
able to
понимаю.
uncover the
Как-то они
truth
там будут
if they collect all the clues. But don't
коннектиться.
worry, there are also various rewards to earn along the way, including primo gems.
Ooh, I really like the vibe of this event. It looks like Sitlali is performing some kind of ritual. It's also mysterious.
Само собой, один на
When a
боевку,
situation
другой,
gets
возможно,
tough,
какое-то
it's
исследование, а
Granny to the
третье я вот не
rescue.
знаю.
Definitely.
Sitlali and Auroron have some really fun dialogue in this event.
I'm always grabbing the popcorn whenever these two interact. They're practically a two-person show. And speaking of fun, let's get into the event gameplay. First up is the Search for Lost Spirits minigame. Travelers will have to work together to
мы
herd the
будем
scattered
гавриков
roaming spirits
загонять.
into
Опять это
specific
будет
zones
на
to earn points. Pay
скорость,
attention
у
to the
кого
conditions on the
получится
field
больше
if you want a
загнать
higher score.
гавриков, тот и
For
победил.
example, travelers can jump on stone slabs that appear on the field. These slabs will break open and release even
Хотя
more
это, возможно,
spirits.
будет...
Storms may also
не
appear
знаю,
during the game. You can
пока
track down
оператив,
spirits more effectively
чтобы мы
if
все
you pay
вместе
attention to
всех
the direction of the storms.
собирали.
In Evil Banisher, travelers
Скорее
will
всего.
need to select the right teams to complete the objectives.
Так, ну Махач,
Completing all of
разумеется.
the objectives will award you the Banishing Aura, which allows you to deal AoE damage by spraying paint at enemies.
That paint really matches the Masters of the Night Wind's aesthetic. It's super cool.
Yeah, and so does the
Чё она
Spirit
бегает и
Loom
всех
in
убивает
restoring
сразу?
fragmented records. Sitlali will use her
О,
powers to
пазлы.
reveal special fragments. Travelers will need to piece these fragments
Еман,
together
возможно,
and
на этих
assemble them
пазлах
on a
придется
woven
очень
scroll.
долго посидеть.
Make sure that you pay attention to the
Возможно.
order and
Возможно.
positions of the fragments. Oh, there's something else that we should mention. Travelers can obtain a new 4-star sword by completing this event. The design definitely fits the Masters
Они
of the
тоже
Night
говорят,
Wind.
типа дизайн
It looks like
звездатый.
some
то есть,
kind
блин,
of
вид
ceremonial
меча
artifact.
имеет место
I
быть.
totally agree. Oh,
на
and
что
this
этот
event
меч?
will allow travelers to
Рассказали?
learn
Я
more
не- я,
about
правда, не
Natlan's
услышал, не понял.
secrets. For example, this quest will reveal new clues about a mysterious and legendary place, the Mare Javari.
Wow, we've been hearing about this place since Mondstadt. It'll be nice to get some new information. On a related note, the Adventurers Guild has prepared a new trial for its members. Active adventurers have been
Ивентик
invited to take on the challenge,
С
including the Traveler.
Катюшкой? Или это не
Travelers
Катюха?
will need to
Нет, не
complete
Катюха.
various challenges with designated characters and fully leverage their skills to earn rewards. I know you're up to the challenge, travelers.
Будут проверять
Good
наши
luck.
скиллы.
In Mondstadt-related
Без
news,
проблем.
the Knights of Favonius are conducting a war game to improve security
Снова
tactics
же
in the
будет
region.
Махач еще
And
один.
who better to test these tactics than the
Hello?
honorary knight? Be sure to pay close attention to the game, since the format has changed this time. Travelers will need to select combat units and stratagems to deploy against the opposing formation. Once the lineup is set, the monsters will fight automatically. Available combat units and stratagems are completely
Короче,
random,
Махач
you know,
не-
just to
мы
build some
будем принимать участие в
unpredictability
этом
into the
Махаче,
wargame.
а вот
The chances of
наши
encountering
NPC,
elite
наши
combat
мобы.
units increases as the wargame progresses. Even more elite monsters will be available for travelers to use. It's a volatile environment, so do
Еман,
your
опять
best to win
Скорпиона
as
сюда
many
вызвали.
rounds as
О,
possible, earn
Скорпиона
wargame
просто-
medals, and collect the
Домой.
rewards.
All right, let's keep the excitement rolling in this
Никогда
next
не видел
event.
Скорпиона
We
таким
actually
слабым.
have a demo, so please take a look.
Oh, looks like
Чё
they're
такое?
selecting tactics. Double damage? That sounds powerful.
А, ну пошел этот, я понял. Призыв
Whoa,
семерых.
it's automated. Cool. The elemental reaction effects are
Где ставь
completely
щит?
different.
Все, щит
This
поставлен.
brand new heated battle mode is called Automatic Artistry. Powerful support cards have been added for nearly every elemental reaction. Choose cards that align with your strategies to
Я
trigger
не
powerful
особо много
elemental reactions.
понимаю
The effects will
в
change depending on how
священном
you
призыве
play.
семерых, потому
In
что я в него
addition,
не
the
играю.
overall gameplay
Вот, но
is
ребята,
very
которые
laid back.
принимают
Characters
активное
will
участие во
automatically
всей
do
этой
each other,
движухе.
and
Ну,
skill
наверное,
animations
как бы
are
для
now
них
shorter in length.
информация здесь
Wow,
полезная
it's like we
описывается и
got a whole
рассказывается.
new Genius Invocation TCG after coming back from Natland. Talk about whiplash.
That's right.
Так что,
Even if
блин,
you've
без
never
священного
played
призыва
Genius
семерых
Invocation
никакая
before, I really
новая версия
recommend
не
checking
обходится.
out this new
Что-то
gameplay mode in
новое
version 5.2.
вкатывается в этот
The new
режим.
version will also bring a few
За это
updates to
респект. Но вот то,
regular
что они
Genius
вкатили сюда
Invocation
эту
TCG.
собаку,
Do you
падлу.
ever feel a little cooped up
Которая
while
вот
you're
она,
playing card games?
справа.
Well, don't worry about that. Our next event will give travelers the opportunity to enjoy the great outdoors.
Главная
In
псина.
Claw Convoy, travelers will need to help
Еще
Lamia
один
track down
ивентик.
some adopted animals. Travelers will be able to see the animal's point of view by using a special tool. Once you've managed to deduce their location,
животных?
you'll be able to track them down. Once the animals are safe and sound, travelers will receive a gift from the mysterious figure who adopted them.
Что
I feel
это?
like Auroran would really
Мини-хутао?
shine in this event.
Это что
He's
такое?
definitely an animal lover.
Бля.
I can see that. I'm sure that he would jump at the chance
Если
to
нам
meet
эту
animals
фигурку не
from other
дадут в чайник,
nations.
Yeah.
не
Finally, the
спрашивайте
ley
меня
line
за-
overflow
да-да,
event will
за
return in
прохождение.
version 5.2. If you need Mora or character
Разлив
EXP
артерий на
materials,
Мору
then
и на
keep an eye out.
книжке. Этого,
All
кстати, не
right, let's
хватило.
dive into some updates and
звездец
game
как не хватало.
optimizations. First up is the change to the Imaginarium Theater.
Апдейт
Previously,
вымаженарий.
travelers would be returned to the theater
Воображаем
lobby
такое.
after completing a challenge and have to reopen the Fantasia tome to continue. Travelers provided feedback that this setup interrupted their experience. So, this will no longer be the case in version 5.2. Now, after finishing a battle, all you need to do is click Next Act if you want to keep fighting.
Nice. Travelers can now enjoy the thrill of combat without any interruptions.
And for all the generous travelers who like to configure supports for their friends, a supporting caster record has been added in the new update. You can now check which friends have borrowed your supports by looking at the supporting cast screen.
Cool. It'll be nice to know that our supports are helping people out.
Yup.
Короче, сейчас
and the
рассказывают
party
про изменения
configuration
и
mechanic has
нововведения,
also been
которые будут
optimized.
в
Besides
воображариуме,
elemental
но
filtering,
о
the
них,
Imaginarium
наверное,
Theater
чуть
will now
попозже
feature recommended row icons,
поговорим,
elemental
когда
statistics,
появится
and
русский
markers for the
язык.
main types of animals.
Понимать, о чем вообще
That
речь.
is so helpful.
Ну, я так понимаю, что
I'll
на
occasionally put
каждого
together a
босса,
random
который
team if
находится у
I've just
нас в
started
этом,
experimenting with some characters,
в
but
каждом
this
ключевом этом
information
акте,
should make it a lot easier to form
в
strategic
финале
teams.
каждого акта.
These markers will display
Каких,
key
типа,
information on how to counter
этих
enemies,
персонажей
but in
лучше
a much
ставить,
more prominent position. Hopefully, this change
чтобы
will
они
make it
более
easier
лучше
for travelers to
гармонировали
form
между
the
собой.
best teams.
Yes. Now we can directly see which elements work
Не знаю,
best
посмотрим
against
потом.
specific enemies. That's definitely gonna save some time.
For sure.
Тоже
And we
говорят, что
can
иногда
expect
типа
even more
мобы
optimizations in
иногда
the
бывают
future as
настолько
travelers continue
специфичные,
to
что,
provide valuable
блин,
feedback about
персонажами,
their
которыми мы можем
experiences. Okay, let's introduce
в
the
каком-то
other system
конкретном, блин, этом
optimizations coming in version
акте
5.2. You
участвовать.
can
Типа,
outsort
не
5-star
хватает
artifacts in your
мощи на этих
inventory based
персонажах.
on when you
Всегда
obtained
можно
them,
выкрутиться.
from the most recent to the oldest. Second, the animations for crafting materials, forging weapons, building furniture, and cooking dishes are now shorter in length.
That's really nice. The dev team designed a lot of intricate animations for these features, but it can feel a bit frustrating when you have to watch them over and over again.
There will also be several optimizations for the Serena teapot. The seed dispensary can now
Короче,
hold more of
оптимизацию
every type
ввезли
of
в
seed.
готовку,
You'll be
в
able to
крафт.
purchase wood at the Realm Depot in exchange for Realm
Тима,
currency.
21 тысяча монет,
In
откуда
addition,
у тебя
the
столько?
cooldown for the boon of the Elder Tree will be reduced to 5 seconds. This way, it will be easier for travelers to collect wood.
Awesome.
Ага,
I've
понял.
been meaning to use
Короче,
some
они
cool replicas
оптимизировали
in my Serena
артефакт, который
teapot, but
позволяет
I'm
собирать
always
материалы,
short on wood.
и
So
гораздо
this should
он
be
быстрее
really helpful.
откатывается, чем это
Nice!
было
I'm
до
so
этого,
excited
до-
for
до
you! Oh, and
обновления
optimizations
5.2.
have been made to artifact locking. The updated lock assistance interface
даже
will
таким не
allow you to
пользовался, по-моему.
configure lock settings
разу.
with a single click. Just hit Use Recommended Settings and you're set. The recommended set lock plans will even update automatically based on popular in-game configurations. Of course, if you have
Чего?
your own ideas in mind, then you can always disable the recommended plans to configure custom ones instead.
The update also allows you to batch lock artifacts in your inventory based on the recommended general lock plan and set lock plans. This will make it much faster to organize your inventory. In addition, a shortcut button that navigates
Блин,
to
я
the
думал,
lock assistance
завезли этот,
interface
как
will be
его,
added to the artifact
корректировку
domain challenge screen and the
выпадающих
artifact
артефактов с
acquisition
нужными
screen.
статами.
This should make it easier
судя
for
по всему,
travelers
не
to
надо.
configure their locking rules
Блин.
whenever they want. A star feature will
Эх,
also be
ладно.
added next to the lock button on each artifact. Travelers can use this feature to mark their favorite artifacts and filter by stars to quickly track them down.
Finally, treasure compasses will now be able
Избранные
to locate
артефакты.
even more treasure locations, including Sealies and time trial challenges.
Что может быть
A
прекраснее?
quick swap feature will also be added for treasure compasses and Oculus Resonance stones. Enabling this feature will allow travelers to more easily use these devices across regions. The feature will automatically switch to the compass or stone that corresponds to your location in the game.
Короче,
Awesome.
компасы для
Be sure
этих,
to check
для
out future
кулов.
announcements
Если
for
у
more
нас, например,
details on the
стоит
version
этот
5.2 optimizations.
компас.
All right, that was a
Поиск
lot of info,
кула
so
там
this seems like a good
фонтейна,
time
а мы
for our
находимся
second
на
break.
клане, то он
It's
автоматически
time for the
переключается на
third
клановский.
redemption code.
Если, конечно, такой есть. Ух ты, ну и последний, третий промокодик. Угу. Имеем, фиксируем, плюс наблюдаем. Так, это банк, и пошли последний промокод. Готово. Последний промокодик зафиксировали. Всё. С хайпом. Жду не дождусь, когда на Твиче завезут хотя бы субтитры русские. Но, увы, такого вряд ли будет. А нет уже, да,
Welcome back,
субтитров?
travelers. What else do we have on the agenda, Gabe?
We have some very exciting news to share.
Very exciting.
After the version update on November 20th, travelers will be able to play Genshin Impact on the
Xbox?
Xbox Series X and S. Log into
S?
Genshin Impact on Xbox
On
Series
S?
X and S consoles to receive
Хорош.
the Wind Glider Wings of Fate's Course Intertwined.
Ему нахида
Additionally,
скрафтила
Xbox
Xbox.
Game Pass Ultimate members can play Genshin Impact via cloud gaming. They'll also find extra rewards in their in-game mailbox.
Awesome.
All right, that should be everything.
Ну и
That
всё,
means
типа.
that we've reached the end of the special program. Is there anything that you want to say before we go, Kai?
Yes, I'm really looking forward to all the new characters. Chaska and her weapons seem really incredible. I'd love to see how her travel chronicle unfolds because she has such an amazing personality. And Auroran seems like a very layered character. The storytelling is definitely going to shine. What about you, Gabe?
Yeah, I'm just so excited for players to experience
excited.
more of the Natland storyline.
So excited.
And we have so much to explore this time. I mean, 2 new tribes and a new area as well. And one thing I've always loved about Genshin Impact is how it's multi-platform. Like, I'm always logging in on different devices depending on where I am, so it's just exciting to see another platform become
So
available
excited.
for everyone.
Yeah.
And yeah, on that note, I hope you have fun with the new version, travelers.
Bye.
Bye.